Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. This Wednesday evening, we'll be again reading from the page 916, and the topic is very interesting. So I have just given the topic because Sri Ramakrishna said that to call God, one need not to shout. So we'll be discussing mainly on that and other things. Then, as Dr. Sharkar and others, they are discussing, conversing with Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. So that part we will study, and let us chant this mantra first. Tavo kathamritam tapta jivanam kavi bhirilitam kalmashapaham Stravana Mangalam Sri Madatatam Bhubi Grinanti E Bhurida Janaha. Now, Dr. Sarkar, he was about to leave. Then the discussion came. Why should you even speak to him? Does he not know of it? That your master, Sri Ramakrishna, was mentioning that once in a while I try to speak to him about it, but I do not succeed. About whom? About actually the Dr. Sharkat was talking about a person for that. Why do you have to talk to? Master, smiling, a Muslim, while saying his prayer, shouted, O Allah, O Allah. Another person said to him, You are calling on Allah. That is all right. But why you are shouting like that? Don't you know that he hears the sound of the anklets on the feet of an ant? The small, tiny little ant, you can understand, we can know, gaze those legs of the ant, and then an anklet on that. That means how tiny it will be. Even the God can listen to that. By saying this, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning that God is within our heart. He is not separate. That many of you know that in the Mundaka Upanishad, it says that the beautiful verse, the Jivatma and Paramatma, Jivatma and Ishvara, they are like two beautiful birds live in a same tree. That simile they are giving, the Dva, Suparna, Sayuja, Sakaya, and that is the very oft quoted the verse of the Upanishad, and the monks they like to quote that because particularly those who are Vedantin, they love it. Why you know? Because that gives us the complete idea that the Ishvara or the divinity and the human being, that is also divinity, they are in the same body. This body has been termed as a tree, and on that tree there are two birds. They are of the same plumage, same beauty, and they are living together. They are very close to each other. They don't leave. Someone will be alone and nothing like that. They are but only other difference is there. One, it goes on hopping to branches, different branches, and try the fruits that is on the tree. And sometimes the fruit is bitter, sometimes it is sweet, experiencing sorrow and joy. Other one, the same tree, is not doing anything. That is only difference. By that it says Jivatma and the Paramatma or the Ishvara are the same, and they live in the same body. But one part of the consciousness, we can mention in this way, one part of the consciousness get associated with this body and thinks that I am doing. It's a wrong conception though, but it's think that I am doing, I am the doer, aham karta, aham bhokta, I am enjoying, I am suffering, I am doing. So all this comes because of the wrong idea, because associating with the body. But body has nothing to do. Body is nothing but just like another place where they are living. They just change that place. This much, but the other one, it is very much aware of it. Though living in the same body, in the same tree, but not doing anything. That is a philosophical part that we should understand, that Ishvara and the Jiva are the same. How they explain? They say the consciousness, when it is covered by the Maya, is known as Ishvara. Consciousness, again, when it is covered by the ego, is known as individual self. So Jivatma, they say, Chaitanya, ahankar upohita Chaitanya. It is consciousness, Chaitanya, but covered by the ahamkara. What is that ahamkara? I. And what is this I? Many times we discussed, you cannot say this is I. Though we say this body or this mind, but it is constantly changing. How can you say this? We say that this body of mine, but the mind is constantly changing. Which body actually? So by that subtle way, if we try to understand, we won't be able to say which is I. But still we say I, the whole world, everyone, right from the little child and up to the very powerful, the supreme, the rulers, they all say I. So this is one thing. Another, the same consciousness covered by the Maya doing everything in this world, but never say I. That is called Ishvara. The consciousness covered by the Maya, and Maya is having three power, Sattva, Raja and Tama, and he is doing. This is the main why one need not to shout, because God is so close to us and it is so friendly with us. And without me, he cannot live. That's why in the Rabindranath again it says, Amai noile tribhuvaneshwar, tomar prem hoto je miche. Those who know these songs, they will understand. Without the Jivatma, there is no play. So the God, the Supreme Being with the power of the Sattva, Raja and Tama is doing in such a way, acting in such a way, that everything is going on. But with whom? With me only. And who am I? As a part of that. Part of you. I am that. This is Vedantic way of understanding the self. Who am I? That. Now, when Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna mentioned that a gentleman, a Muslim, telling another person, a Muslim, why are you shouting like that when you are calling on God? Do you have to? Friends, another thing, I don't know how it is, but we can understand, we can gaze that sometimes a religion, they develop some of the practices because they want something like, in the Middle East we know mostly a deserted area. And there is a camp and then people living in different places or acting. So they like to give them a call so that they come over there and assemble together. So they give ajan. Ajan means the divine call. So they do like that. But when we are inside the city, so close to each other, and now particularly in the advanced age, just text and say, this is the time, please come, that is sufficient. Then you go inside the room and close your mosque, close your temple, and then pray, you sing, but not disturbing others. When we are disturbing others, those who are not ready to accept that or practicing that, This is sometimes is a unnecessary disturbances, and when I am disturbing someone who is not liking it, am I not disturbing the God who is residing in him? This question we have to understand. And some of the traditional Hindus, they will be going on banging the bell, and then in the microphone is so common nowadays. And they will be playing, and everywhere the sound should go. You like it, you listen it. Some of your friends and the devotees, they like, you listen. But why to disturb all people? As because we don't have the conception of God, we do that. Those who are very close to God, we call them priest, purohita. Sometimes they misbehave with the devotees who are coming so far from far away. They are humble, they do not know, they are eager to see the God. As because I am here, I am thinking that I should have this, have that. No, you should not come this, you should not do that, like this. That is, one should be very, very careful. When you are reading this, at the same time, I am a monk, I am living in an ashrama, people are coming to visit the shrine. Do I have the authority to say, no, you cannot come? I do not. Because this is a shrine of God, they can come. They must. Who am I to say no? This is not a personal thing. Once you have started as an organization, so naturally people, no, you have a private house, and inside that your own private shrine, nobody will go there. Even if they like to go, it's a no. And there, quietly you are praying, you have every right to do that. Once it is a public, you have to allow people to come. This is one. Second, you cannot disturb the neighbors also. You are not supposed to. Forget about the rules of the country, rules of the land. You have to have that, the feeling, why should I have to disturb the others? I like to call on God, I will cry, I will pray, but that should not disturb others. If we have developed these, then we are more close to God than using the microphone and disturbing everyone and calling on God and showing that I am so great devotee. Whole day we did the puja. Now this is very wrong. That is why again and again Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, if you can see God by closing your eyes, can't you see God with open eyes? This can solve all problems, If we develop these with open eyes, why? God is everywhere. God is all pervading. God is residing in every heart. By these two lines, Sri Ramakrishna is teaching us that we should be very, very careful when we are in the society, that my behavior, my feeling should not hurt others. Otherwise, indirectly, knowingly or unknowingly, we are hurting gods, because they are also created by God. This Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, because when I know and I believe that God is all powerful, God is the Almighty, and God is all pervading, omnipotent, omniscient, and all this that we say, but we don't believe that. That's why our behavior is like this. In one line, Sri Ramakrishna indicating that, why are you shouting like that? Don't you know that he hears the sounds of the anklets on the feet of an ant? When the mind is united with God, one sees him very near. It is so close. Last week we were discussing, quoting from the Hindi couplet, where you are searching me, O friend, I am so close to you, within your heart. If you are truly searching me, even within a blinking of an eye, I am there present. But why we can't realize God? Because first, we don't believe that. It's a sort of a hearsay, so many people are telling, and from the childhood we hear like that, so we grow up in that way, and our mind also get colored with those ideas, and then we are thinking, okay, God is like this, God is like that, but we never believe it. If we believe that God is everywhere, and how sometimes some people, they come and they'll be loudly, they'll be talking inside the shrine. If we believe that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is there, Ma, Sharada, Swamiji, all are there, can we talk like that? Can we think in other way except the God? If we believe that God is there, so we have to. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's, one of the direct disciples, he was Shashi Maharaj. His birthday we have celebrated yesterday in a very humble way, just by remembering him. He had a great faith. And that's why Swami Vivekananda said, when he sent him to the South India, Indian southern part of India, they are very devoted people. He said, I will, and they are very much proud of their the Brahmanhood. He said, I will send you a Brahman who will prove that what actually Brahman is. He will teach you that. And what is that Brahman? He always lives in God. And he believes in God. That is a Brahmana, not by birth, but by your practice. And this Ramakrishnanandaji, his name was Ramakrishnananda, one who is in great joy because he lives in Ramakrishna. Swami Vivekananda, we heard, we read that he had an idea to take that name for himself. But then he shall know, it should go to Shashi. Shashi was his nickname and pre-monastic name, and he was giving that name. He was truly used to live in Sri Ramakrishna. His great joy was only Sri Ramakrishna. We have heard that one day when he was in Madras, one day it was raining, and the particular place where the shrine was, where he kept the picture of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, it was from the roof, it was a leak, and then water was dripping. Whole night, because there was no other things what to do, instead of changing the place, taking the photo and then changing the place, he didn't do that. Why? Sri Ramakrishna is sleeping. How can I disturb him? Will you believe, whole night he was standing holding an umbrella on. For us, it is a picture. On a photo, he was holding an umbrella whole night. That is called faith. When we have that faith, then we love everyone also, because the God is in everything. I love God, but I hate you. No, this is something wrong. You don't love God also, because you don't understand what is God. You are thinking that this is the faith and I follow, and that is God, that is that way, but you have not realized God. Anyone in any religion, any time, anywhere, if they say, I have realized God, I love my God, but I hate those people, know it for sure he has not. He is telling lies. He has not. Once, anywhere, in any religion, realized God will love everyone, because his realization will show him that God is in everything. And all religions say God has created this universe. So obviously, it is God who is everything. Otherwise, where from this thing came? Good, bad, whatever it may be. This, sometimes some people, the bad people, then we should not give them the punishment. No, that is wrong. When you are practically you are there and you have not realized God, for that time you have to behave as you are. After the realization of God, you won't see the difference. And even then, if you are living, you will be behaving with those people accordingly. Those realized people, they also behave like the Bhagavan Krishna. He punished those who were wrongdoers. Sri Rama punished those who were wrongdoers. He knew that they are also his part, but he was also punishing. So this practical thing that must be there. We should not misunderstand that or mingle up that. But the realization of the truth that this is this. Suppose there's a scientist. He knows what is happening, how the food comes, and then how the food goes into body. Is he not eating? Is he not sleeping? He is doing all the normal things. But he knows that how it is happening. When he is meditating, when he is working, he is knowing, oh, the pill that I have taken or the food that I have taken, it is breaking like this, a part is becoming this, part is becoming that. That he knows. Ordinary people won't know, he will know. But that doesn't mean that he won't behave normally. So these two things are different. Knowledge is there, but at the same time, when I am behaving, I have to behave with a practical thing. Of course, there's a beautiful story, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he solves these all problems. He said, the Guru taught that everyone is nothing but God. And two disciples went into the forest to collect some dry wood, fagots. Then suddenly they found that a man sitting on the top of the elephant is shouting, my elephant has become rogue now, I cannot control it, go away from the path. And the elephant was chasing, it was coming from the road. Everyone took shelter, they went aside. That brahmachari who heard it, he was standing on the road and thinking, elephant is also God. My guru said, so I should not move away. Luckily, elephant didn't kill him, but threw him. He was injured, he was unconscious. Afterwards, he was brought back to the ashrama. When he came to his consciousness, Guru asked him, hey, what is it? Why you were standing like that? Well, you said, everything is God, the elephant is also God, and why should I go away from the God? He said, elephant is God, but the man who was sitting on the top of the elephant is also God. And he was shouting, go away, go away. Why you have not heard him? So that is why he said, to become a devotee doesn't mean that you have to be a fool. As long as we are in this world, we have to behave what is necessary, when it is necessary, accordingly. But the truth is that everything is nothing but that same God. And when we truly realize that, it comes the oneness, our attitude changes. What is that becomes? We completely we get free from jealousy, anger, hatred, and all our ego will go away because the I goes away. So I see everything is nothing but the same God. Ingersoll, one of the great philosophers, he told Swami Vivekananda that you people all the time talk like this, but we know how to enjoy our life. The Swamiji said, I know better way. You enjoy only when you are successful, your family is successful, or your relatives are successful. Your own people whom you like, they are successful. But you know why? I love each and everyone. Anyone, anywhere in the world successful, I enjoy that. So my enjoyment, my joy of intensity is much more than yours. That is the Vedantic way of looking at things. I belong to everyone. God is everywhere. And if I am within my heart whispering or without murmuring, I pray silently, God will listen. I need not to shout for that. He said in that way, then Bhaktamala he said, listen to a story. There was a king who used daily to hear the Bhagavata. Another story he is mentioning, Dr. Sharkar said, to address a woman as mother is the tantric way. That is true, that they, as because they tantra they speak. But Sri Ramakrishna, he is telling another story, and through this type of stories, he used to teach the people. And it, when you hear a story, very interesting story, it goes to our heart, and we remember the teachings because of the story. That is why the mythology. Before the mythology is the morality. And morality means do's and don'ts. You should not do this, you should do that. But the why? And sometimes we do not remember also. Then mythology came. And different stories. Sometimes it is real, historical, and sometimes it is mixed with some idea. And they present you the beautiful stories, and we remember those things. Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning another story. There was a king who used daily to hear the Bhagavata recited by a Pandit. Pandit, you know that as a priest, but they are actually a Bhagavata is an excellent book mainly dedicated to Bhagavan Vishnu and Sri Krishna. In the 10th, whole 10th volume is dedicated to Krishna. So it says that for the devotees. But it has lot, everywhere is the only knowledge. Devotion also is there. So the Pandits, they will be, the scholars, they will be reading that book, and they used to go and read. There was an idea, if you listen to that holy words, then you become purified. So a group of people, they took that as their the profession. They used to go, they used to read, and then against they used to get some money from the listeners. Here also the Pandit used to come and used to read to the king. Then after finishing the reading, a part of it, he would say, "O king, have you understood what I have said?" He used to explain also. And every day the king would reply, "You had better understand it first yourself." And the king, he used to say before everyone, it was an insult though, but even then the Pandit, the humble man, how can he say, "Hey, priest, why you are talking like that?" He couldn't say that. But he used to feel sad and he used to wonder, I explained it so in a wonderful way, but still the king, how come that he could not understand it? And why he said that every day? You had better understand it first yourself. What does he mean? The Pandit used to practice spiritual discipline. This is very important. Those who are practicing spiritual discipline, that purifies the mind. And what is the purification of the mind? Your ego will be lessened and lessened. We can understand because of the ego. Immediately my ego will come and give a color to that word. And no, I have understood correctly, I know it perfectly, they are mistaken. But when you are practicing spirituality, you are supposed to lessen your ego. And then you can see the truth. When there will be no ego, you see the ultimate truth, which is the Supreme Brahman. And he used to practice spiritual discipline. A few days later, he came to realize that God alone is real and everything else, house, family, wealth, friends, name, fame, all are illusory. Convinced of the unreality of the world, he renounced it. As he left home, he asked a man to take this message to the king. "O king, I now understand." Now in the Bhagavata, they say you have to renounce. Why? Everything is nothing but temporary. For that, if you are spending the whole life to acquire that, if you are spending your energy, instead of understanding the God, the Supreme, that is the foolishness. That's why and he used to come to read the Bhagavata before the king for what? Money. And then he is going and teaching the king that in the society he had a great respect also, that he is the teacher of the king, so that social status and all that. So he used to feel that, oh, I am not an ordinary person, I am the teacher of the king, I read the Bhagavata before the king. Now constantly that type of insult made him to think that why king says like this. Then it revealed, instead of becoming angry, he used that for the revelation of the truth, and he understood. King knew it very well. Before that, he used to listen, but he knew that this is nothing but temporary. And that's why he used to tell him, you come for money, and you are asking me whether I have understood it or not. He realized it. Here is another story. A man needed a scholar of the Bhagavata to expound the sacred text to him every day. Now that gentleman, he was searching for a teacher who will come and read the Bhagavata and explain that. But it was very difficult to procure such a scholar. After he had searched a great deal, another man came to him and said, Sir, I have found an excellent scholar of the Bhagavata. Very well, said the man. Bring him here. But the other man replied, But there is a little hinge. The scholar has a few plough and the bullocks. He is busy with them all day. He must look after the cultivation of his land. He hasn't a moment leisure. Thereupon the man who required the scholar said, I don't want a Bhagavata scholar who is burdened with plough and bullocks. I want a man who has leisure and can tell me about God. Do you understand? He asked Dr. Sharkar. Now some people, those who are there in the world, but after the retirement, then they are nothing to say, they will be writing some books on the spiritual life. Then they will go and expound it before others. And you know that in India, if you are having some marks on your forehead, then you put on the glove, and then you can, either in the local language or in English or in your mother tongue, if you can do that, people will come and they will take the blessings. This man has not done any spiritual practice. He is only a scholar type. What he does, through that he start earning money. Maybe he will be doing a little bit of charity, but it becomes another profession for him. But the religious talks is not a profession. And sometimes in the holy places, after the talk, they will be collecting the fund for the priest, for the man who has talked. So he will come and stand at the gate with the hat. So the people are meeting and greeting and giving some money. He collects that money, he goes. In Hinduism is also there the priest. They will go to the houses and they will perform the puja, and then they will collect the money and other provisions, whatever, and that is there, they will carry it to home. Those who know the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, when he was a very young boy of 16 years, he said to his mother said, you must go with your elder brother and learn the priestly craft and earn some money. He said, Mother, I have no problem to go with my elder brother and to learn the priestly craft, but I will not earn money by that. And in Bengal is a very famous, they say, Chal Kola Badha Bidde Shigbona. He is a great devotion for his mother. Whatever mother said, he used to do. Mother said, I don't like to see you as a monk. Though he became a monk, but never wore that monk clothes like the gerua. If the mother see that, she will be angry and she will feel sorry for that. That's why, like that. Sri Ramakrishna was like that. Even then, when the mother said this, he said, no, I'm ready to go with the brother. I'm ready to learn, but I will not sell the religious knowledge for money. That is not possible. And that is the reason one, one should be careful. When we are giving the spiritual teaching and then we are earning some money against that, it goes completely against this. Even some of the, in our countries, they used to say, in the knowledge should not be sold. You cannot do that. Knowledge is knowledge. But in the modern time, what the professors will do, teachers will do, they need some support. It is government that should do, give them the salaries, not by taking the money from the students, but what the government will get. Previously, the great jamindars or the kings, they used to have their the taxes from there. They used to support the teachers, and they will give the provision to the teachers, salary to the teachers. But otherwise, the students owned. They will come, learn it, and go. Now the systems has changed. It has become a commodity. Education is becoming a commodity. So obviously, the morality behind that is going away. It's only information. It's like those who are very intelligent are sort of AI nowadays. Oh, I'm doing this and that. But the knowledge and spiritual knowledge completely different. It is out of compassion. Oh, that man is suffering, and he doesn't know what is good and what is bad. Like a mother, she'll be all the time behind that boy who loves to play and to spend his time in other way than study. The mother will constantly chase the boy, come, this is time to sit for your study, and you have to go to the school, you must complete your home task. Why the mother do that? Because they love the child. Her own child, if he is not learning, in the human society, strength is the brain, not the muscle. Your power is in the brain. You get everything, your respect, your money, everything, if you are intelligent. This is a human society. It's not animal society. In animal society, it is the physical power. If you have the physical power, you are ruling over others. But in human society, completely different. Even if you are wheelchair bound, but you are intelligent, whole society will come at your feet. So that way, it always says that one must understand this. To whom we are going to get the spiritual knowledge? What is his background? His or her background. Before taking the spiritual knowledge, you have to inquire about it. When you go for many other things, you always go and search how many stars are there. Even when you are going to book a hotel, is it 5 stars are there? How their services? We inquire and then we go for that. But what about the spiritual knowledge? All the stories that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling today, the God is so close to us, you need not to shout to call him. Just silently pray, he will listen. And then, from whom you are going to learn it, he should be one who has no relation with this world. If he is having some business, he is having some desire, he is having all these things for money, no, it is better to avoid that person. He won't be able to give you the proper spiritual lesson. That is how he teaches. See, Dr. Sharkar remained silent. And this is very interesting that he remained silent. He is the man all through every page we saw, he always make a comment, but this time he made the silent. Sri Ramakrishna, shall I tell you the truth? What will you gain by mere scholarship? Mere scholarship. See, sometimes even the monks also, after accepting the monkhood, they go for this way, I am a scholar, I am a scholar. And he himself will be writing that I am this, I am that. The basic thing is not there. So he has to learn a lot. So only joining an organization or getting a Gerua won't do. That is why the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is the book, the scripture for the modern society. It gives us complete idea like the Bhagavata. In the Bhagavata and the Mahabharata, it says who is a holy person, who is a devotee, who should be, what are the qualities of a devotee, all this. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, through his teaching, he has given everything, all idea. Shall I tell you the truth? What will you gain by mere scholarship? I have studied so many scripture. I know the 6 systems of Indian philosophy. I know the Western philosophy. I can quote from different scripture. That is good. But have you practiced that? That is the main thing. If you are studying, it is okay, it is for you. But if you are going to give it to the others, not as a professor, but as a spiritual teacher, then you must have to have the realization. At least basic realization you must have. And what is the basic realization? God is the only truth, and everything else is nothing but false. Temporary. False means temporary. So that is the way one has to have. Otherwise, you are not capable. He says that the Pandit here can hear many things and know many things, the Vedas, the Puranas, the Tantra, but of what avail is mere scholarship? Discrimination and renunciation are necessary. You know, there's a beautiful story that goes with our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was a great scholar. He wrote a commentary on a book. Now, one day he and his friend, I think Raghunath, if I remember the name, both of them, they were on a boat. They were just, in those days, mainly on the Ganga. Both of them, they were in a private boat and they were discussing, both are scholars. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I have written this commentary and I have invited you for the boat ride so that I can read it out to you. And if there is any mistake, please let me know. Usually that happens. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started reading. When he completed, he saw his friend is crying. He said, why you are crying? This is an argument, no emotion. No, not like that. Excellent commentary that you have written. But you know why I am crying? I have also written a commentary on the same subject. But after hearing your commentary, your explanation, I know nobody is going to listen or read my book. So many years I worked on that, and I was thinking it will be a great publication. Now, after hearing yours, I think it has all gone west. You know what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did? Immediately he collected all the pages and threw it in the water, in the Ganga. He said, no, your book should be accepted by everyone, read by everyone, that will be sufficient for them. I don't bother about this. This is called renunciation, and this is called the holy personality. How many of us can do that? Somehow we write this, that, and then I have done. Oh, this is called the spirituality. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is indicating that. Friends, if we understand this, we will understand the subtlety of the spirituality. We are baffled by so many things. When you see a beautiful person, beautiful figure, and the language, or the way, the gesture and posture. So I started liking, and I think, oh, that is the real guru. Very wrong thing. So this we should understand only after reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Here Sri Ramakrishna mentioned that this is the discrimination and renunciation are necessary. If a man has discrimination and renunciation, then one can listen to him. But of what use are the words of a man who looks on the world as the essential thing? Those who are delivering, friends, I am not talking about the teachers or professors or the scholars. No. When they read out their papers, of course they should be like that. That is their way they are growing up. That's okay. But we are talking about the spiritual teachers. We know them as guru. And spiritual teacher should not have those things. Only one thing. What is the identity of a spiritual teacher? It's called sampradaya. What is the sampradaya? Wherefrom I have learned it. So this is my ideology and I have learned it from him. So like we are from Shankaracharya. So before Shankaracharya, that it goes like the first is the Shiva, then the Brahma, then it comes to Shankara, and then Shankara to others. That is called parampara, as a lineage. Others are there, their lineages are different, they also think in that way. That much. When you go to a holy person, what is your lineage? He'll say this, the Dasanami Sampradaya, then this, and this is my guru. That much their introduction. Western world don't understand. So they think if you are mentioning about some of the universities and you can say, I met so and so and I read this book and that book, oh, this is a great scholar. Spirituality has nothing to do with that. These two we mix up and we run for the wrong teachers and we don't learn anything of spirituality. Then at the fag end of our life and spending so much of time, wasting our energy, we don't get anything. One should be very, very careful about that. And when we were the brahmacharis, naturally, curiosity to know many religions, used to read these, that. Then one of the Swami said, see, human life is very precious and time we do not know when the end call will come. Any moment, any day. Read only those books, those who have already realized the God. Read those books. So not only Hindu books, also they used to suggest the Saint Francis of Assisi. Saint Francis, we consider as a realized soul. So it's Assisi. So we used to read his books. And there is a brother Lawrence. He has written so many letters to the nuns, the beautiful letters, very inspiring. Unless a man had realized, he won't be able to write like that. Then the Saint Teresa of Avila, not the Mother Teresa of Calcutta, Saint Teresa of Avila. These are the books we have read, though we are Hindu, and we got a lot of inspiration from them, because they are the realized souls. And in our order, Ramakrishna order, all the realized souls and the memoirs and their letters, that gives a wonderful idea. Swami Brahmananda ji, he used to live in his own world. Sometimes he used to say something. Some of the devotees, they have recorded that. And that is a unique book. It's a small book is there. If you read that, the excellent spiritual ideas. Swami Turiyananda ji, a great Vedantic scholar, whole life, when he was a child almost, he used to practice Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. If you read his letters, that will give you the complete idea of the Advaita Vedanta. He lived that, and then and the Swami who wrote the life of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and the great master in English. And he, in the introduction, has said I have not written anything in this book which I have not realized myself. See, look at it. So these are the books we should read. And some people, maybe their English was not that way very good. So original, if you cannot read, you have to read. But that is the way. Then some people, just to make that beautiful in the language, they'll be removing many other things and adding their own idea. At least I don't read those. Why? Because they are not having the truth. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is constantly indicating that you have to go with those who have already reached, and they are called Guru. Tirna Sayam Bhima Bhavarnava. In the Shankaracharya mentioned that one who has already crossed the ocean of samsara, they can teach you. What is the lesson of the Gita? Now the Bhagavad Gita, so many people will be memorizing. That's very good. Even the children, they have memorized. That is really, really good. But you know what is the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita? Sri Ramakrishna said, it is what you get by repeating the word 10 times. When you are going on repeating Gita, 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 it becomes taggy, taggy, taggy. That he mentioned, as you repeat the Gita, the word becomes tagi, tagi, Gita, tagi. Tagi means renounce and renounce, renounce. So this is which is the renunciation. He alone has understood the secret of the Gita, who has renounced his attachment to the lust and gold, and has directed his entire love to God. It is necessary to read the whole of the Gita. The purpose of the reading the book is served if one practices renunciation. And I was hearing that in the very, when the Swami who was transcribing that, translating from the Bengali to English, so he was thinking that some of the words that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna has used should be removed. Then he was having a small group of Americans, and there was a great lady, very highly scholar. I have forgotten the one gentleman was mentioning. She said, Swami, don't change it. Whatever the God has said, that should be kept, particularly woman and gold. Now, the moment you say woman and gold, immediately people will go to court. Why Sri Ramakrishna has said like this, and they won't find Sri Ramakrishna now, they will catch me. So why you are reading? So, but that lady said, you should not, because this is the original word he said. And then people should know why he mentioned like that. He had a great respect for the ladies. His Ishta Devi, his chosen idol was Ma Kali. And his first disciple was Ma Sharadamani Devi. His great respect was for his mother. And he had a great respect for the women. And he used to go and bless those who were condemned because of their profession in those society. We all know Noti, Binodini and others. How can he be disrespectful for the women? But when he is talking to the male people, so the people should inquire and know what was the society and the situation. When Sri Ramakrishna used to talk, only male used to be there. So for them he used to say woman and gold. But when the women used to come, he used to speak in a different way. But that time Master Mashai was not there. So Master Mashai couldn't record that. And there was no lady who had that capacity like the Master Mashai to record that. And when Sri Ramakrishna used to speak to the direct disciples, his disciples, whom he was developing as sannyasins, those teachings were different also. So that is the reason he never changed. So that I heard. So this is the way it goes. But for the with the local, the present day situation, we always say lost and gold. So this is the way, and has directed his entire life to God. It isn't necessary to read the whole of the Gita. The purpose of reading the book is served if one practices renunciation. This is specifically Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. Bhagavad Gita helps us sometimes some people, because of the failures one or two times, they lose confidence on themselves. This is the Gita which can help. And in the Bhagavad Gita it teaches, when you are suffering, like the Arjuna, you should direct your suffering towards God, because it's a tremendous force. Whether you are going to cry and then you are going to commit suicide because you are suffering, instead, if you can turn that towards God and cry to God, pray to God, why this to me? Because I am confused, I do not know. Blessings will come. So this is the way we should understand the Bhagavad Gita. Dr. Sharkar, he said, a man once explained the meaning of Radha to me. He said to me, do you know the meaning of Radha? Reverse the word and it becomes Dhara. That's the meaning. Well, let us stop here for today. Dhara means a continuous flow of devotion. Dhara. Radha, Dhara. Continuous flow of devotion is called Radha. So this is the way he explains. It's true. And Radha, there's a lot of other explanations are also there. But friends, as Dr. Sharkar said, let us stop here. Let us stop here today. Thank you.
So the first question is from Dhirendra Majumdar. He is asking, although I am a retired person having ample of time, but still I am often engaged with worldly matters. Although I pray to Sri Ma, I fail to call her constantly. It is very painful. Please help.
Since you are feeling that it is painful, you have realized that, that is sufficient. Now, when you are trying but not becoming successful because of the long practice of other things, so mostly when we are young, we do many other things and think that at the end of our life we will do that. But it is difficult because of the mind. But never mind now. Since you have realized it, that you are weak and you cannot control your mind now, the only one thing that you can do, as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, in Bengali he said, Kante jano, kante paro. Can you cry? Cry like a baby. That will be sufficient. Just cry. Now, I am failing. I am trying to bring back my mind, but now it has gone totally uncontrolled. Please help me. That will be sufficient. Thank you.
There is a YouTube user SM. He is asking, Thakur says God is real, world is also real, just like the bell, fruit and its seeds. God is ultimate happiness, real and unlimited. Then why are worldly things bondage? Isn't that loving God? Is this the definition of Maya?
See, I think we should not mix up. Of course, there is nothing but God. The Vedanta also says, where you will find other things. With the creation, if you see the creation, there is we should not, let me tell you one thing, just remind, because you people know it. The Shankaracharya's guru's guru, he said that there is no creation at all. But that is a different height. It is very difficult for ordinary people like us to reach there. Now come down. Shankara said, of course there is there. This we see as long as we see. But we have to understand that it is nothing but the Maya. What is Maya? temporary. Whatever we try to catch to get it complete the joy, and after some time it vanishes, goes away. Unfortunately, we marry, then the children, God forbid, sometimes die. Then the pain comes. So this way it goes. That is why it is called Maya. Whatever we try to get, but we don't get permanently. What is permanent? That is God. That is the truth. So this is the way. This world is real in the sense there is nothing but God. But when you realize that, then it is. Without understanding that, if we think the world is real, then it will make great mistake. I think I could clarify that. World at this moment for us, those who have not realized God, is temporary. So we should not put our mind to the world. Rather, we should try to withdraw and give it to the God who is permanent. And after realization of the God, as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, we will see the God has become everything. But now itself, without understanding, if we jump into that, it will be very difficult because we do not know exactly what we should see. So put your mind and soul to God and say, God, please show me what is this world. And He will show, as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said. Thank you.
SPA Mukherjee is asking, when someone is going through extreme troubles, how can we ask Ma and Thakur to be desireless and ask for just Thakur and Ma?
No, that is, you should not. You know, Thakur and Ma, what I understand, Thakur and Ma is our father and mother. As a children, and this time you need not to go for the philosophy. Now it is a reality should be like this. If I go to my father, to my mother, naturally as a child I am going to pray to them. I am having this suffering, please help me. Why should you not? In that time you need not to bother about all that. Because the main thing is the faith. If you have the faith in the Sri Ramakrishna and Ma Sharada and their divine power, you pray what you like to pray. You want this, you want that, go and pray. Like one gentleman who used to come along with Swamiji's friend, Upendranath. So he never prayed to Thakur. Thakur asked, hey, everyone coming and asking something, you never said. He said, sir, I want a lot of money, but I cannot tell it to you. Well, why not? And he gave him a lot of money. They became really, really rich. So like that, whatever you want, tell to, and the Mathur Babu, he secretly told Thakur, I don't need mukti. I like to become a king in my next birth. In this birth, I am only a landlord, and that too being a relation. I married the rich lady, that's why. But next life, I want to be the real king. He became a king. So like that, whatever you want, tell to Thakur and Ma. But if you have faith, the Thakur has that power, there is no problem. Thank you.
Samir Kumar Dey is asking, I start praying for my departed parents, followed by chanting in the name of four ideals, Mother, Sharada, Thakur, Swamiji and Mother Kali. I am not under initiation. Is this the right way to do it?
Yes, of course. And all the four that you said, the same thing in the four different forms. And very good that you are praying for your departed father. This is really good. No problem. That is okay. Thank you.
SSG is asking, there are many times one cries to God out of pain, but we are also blaming God. Does this count as praying? How can a prayer be when I hold God responsible?
That is true. Sometimes, the children, they don't understand, and they'll be, because we love our parents. And all our anger, all our complaint that goes to parents only. So why you have not done this, why you have not done that, like this it goes, because we love them. And that is nothing wrong. You are complaining to God why you have made this world like this, that, but you are remembering God. That is also good. So this is the way we should also, we are turning, that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna himself taught us. Your anger, your lust, your craving, your everything, turn towards God. And then what happens? I am angry, but I am fighting with God. I am remembering God. And that purifies the mind. Thank you. Thank you, friends. The wonderful questions. So let us conclude with this sloka. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai ईशावतारं परमेशमिड्यं तं रामकृष्णं शिरसा नमामः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। श्रीरामकृष्ण अर्पणमस्तु।